friends. Welcome to our Capricorn Full Moon Magic concert. It's early evening here in Santa Fe on Monday, and the full moon is tomorrow afternoon around 3:30, so it's still waxing now, and I'm harnessing that energy. I had all intentions. I got up early and thought I had my altar ready last night. Really enjoyed making that, and I really thought I'm going to get up early and do this and start my day with the ritual. And when I woke up, they were doing roadworks out the front, and I thought, well, that's interesting. We do want to get earthy, but not by digging into the earth with a jackhammer. So anyway, la. Let's get into the zone. Let's drum ourselves into settling into the moment, connecting in with each other. Thank you. If you're here, it means you're supporting this journey on Patreon, so super grateful for that. Okay. Let's breathe into our bellies. Connecting with Mother Earth through our breath. At your own pace, allowing your breath to connect you with your body. Connecting in with Mother Earth. Who's between the sun and the moon, holding balance, the midpoint. Sun setting on the western horizon as full moon rises on the east. Full moon setting on the west, sun rising in the east, earth between them. Sun in the sign of Cancer, watery and nurturing. Moon in the sign of Capricorn, strengthening, supporting. A perfect pair. Feel that energy now, how we sit between sun and moon, finding the balance between them, the line of polarity. And we welcome in the energies of earth, of bone and stone, of ancestor, of Gaia, of sacred land, of hidden cave, of secrets below surface, of crystals, of roots, of structure and formation, of mountain ranges. Earth, even in your stillness, you are change, of erosion, of carbon life forms, layered as fossils. Earth, on this Capricorn full moon, we welcome you into our circle. Blessed be. Well, that's interesting. I normally start with air. Anyway, I started with earth today. Air. We welcome you as breath, as flexibility, of new ways of doing things, of discovery, fresh insights, wings spread wide, laughter and play dancing wildly. Fairies and butterflies and hummingbirds, we welcome you. Energies of fire, of the sacred flame, burning away the old, making way for the new. Fire, our lantern in the dark, our spark of divinity, our warm hearth. You're welcome in our circle. Blessed be. And water, flow, nurturing and life-giving womb, ocean, river, rain, underground aquifer. Water, soothing, cleansing, great mother, floating in you, dreaming in you. You're welcome in our circle. Blessed be. Energies of spirit. We honour you in your earthy aspects on this Capricorn full moon. Connect in with whichever aspects of spirit you connect with. I welcome in Pan, the goat god, the horned one, that delightfully playful aspect of the Capricorn energy. Earth that's sexy, lusty, eager to generate itself. Earth that is sure-footed, spirit in all your many names and nameless. You're welcome in our circle. Blessed be. By earth and air and fire and water, by the sun and the moon and the power of spirit. This circle is cast and outside of time. This circle is cast and outside of space. Blessed be. While I've got this drum in my hand, I'm going to sing this very earthy song. It's from Black Snake. It's called A Will of Its Own. I was practicing this. I don't often sing it. I was practicing it as I went on my hike this morning and, connecting in with that beautiful mountain that I climb most days, finding amazing fossils. I just did a little Facebook Live video, so I held a fossil up close. In that, you can check it out on my Facebook page. But anyway, climbing the mountain, and yesterday I was reading an article about all the fungi that connects the root systems of trees and allows trees to exchange knowledge and nutrients with each other, and this realization that even of different species, they're not in competition, that they actually help each other out. One will give a growing tree sugar while another will exchange nitrogen, and I looked at these trees that are so gnarled and old and wonderful, growing up in the beautiful Sangre de Cristo mountains that I climb, and was thinking, what are they communicating? And really got into that earthy Capricorn underground aspect. But anyway, here we go. This song's called A Will of Its Own. This land sings with a will of its own. This land sings with a will of its own. Here every tree, every rock, every stone, every hill and river, every ancestor's bone. This land breathes with a will of its own. This land breathes with a will of its own. From the spring of the maiden to the winter of the crone, where the seed land cries with a will of its own. We feel your anger and we hear you groan. In the storm, in the twister, in the hurricane's moan. This land rules with a will of its own. This land rules with a will of its own. All four corners where the fall winds have blown, from the deepest desert to the Arctic zone. This land lives with a will of its own. This land lives with a will of its own. We hear your heartbeat and you're not alone. We have caused you to suffer and we must atone. This land sings with a will of its own. This land sings with a will of its own. Hear every tree, every rock, every stone, every hill and river, every ancestor's bone. Every hill and river, every ancestor's bone. Every hill and river, every ancestor's bone. So you might notice that I'm at a different location. I decided to record this one at my desk because Capricorn is all about practicality, taking care of business, and this is where I take care of business. This desk has a funny story too. Got it off Craigslist from up in Los Alamos, and it's like underneath all this drapery, it's like a very practical metal old desk from like the 1940s or 50s or something, 40s I think. I don't know, Los Alamos, the whole Manhattan Project and development of that terrible bomb. Let's hope that someone wasn't working on it then. But anyway, I think having it here and doing sacred work is somehow reattuning it. It's really hot in here, but I can't open the door because you'll hear the traffic, so I'll just use this beautiful owl wing. Here's a funny story. I think it really sums up the Capricorn Cancer polarity. So normally I have a door over here that's a back door and a front door. There's a little alleyway out there, and I usually leave the door propped open with like a little tile, maybe about 4 inches, so that the cat can come and go as he wants, which is the way of cats, and so it should be. So that was the case, and maybe some of you saw I posted a video up on Facebook and Instagram the other day, yesterday, maybe? No, the day before. And I was up the hill and it was a thunderstorm and I'm all excited and it's raining a bit and la-da-da. Well, I came home and this entire office was completely flooded, like an inch of water over the entire thing. And it had gone right into my, I've got a wardrobe over here, which has all my shoes in it. Every shoe was like underwater, under an inch of water, completely wet. There was a carpet here, which I've had to throw out. But anyway, for some reason, probably because I'd just come home from that walk, I wasn't perturbed at all. I'm like, oh, okay. It's because there's a downpipe just outside this door. So essentially what was happening is all the water from the roof was coming down a pipe and channeling right into the place where I'd left the door open for the cat. And I thought, well, that is a good opportunity to talk about how Capricorn and Cancer work together. Water needs boundaries. That flow of the Cancerian water, with the door open, I'd left my boundaries too loose and water came flooding in, and I thought it was also interesting that it completely flooded all my shoes and boots and whatnot, because the the foot is so, the grounding energy is so connected with Capricorn. So basically all this water came in and flushed out this entire thing. But the next day I got up super early and cleaned the whole thing out. Now it feels so bright and amazing, all cleansed by rainwater. And I thought, wow, that was a good lesson in boundaries. And sometimes it's just very obvious that we need to maintain those. There I was thinking, oh, it's all lovely and have the door open and blah, blah, blah. Well, it's all lovely until the place floods. Anyway, la-di-da-da. I equate Capricorn too with the big bare landscapes that I live in here in New Mexico, in the desert. And even if you live in a city, you've all seen photos of the American Southwest and all the beautiful rock formations and whatnot. It's absolutely stunning. And so I see these beautiful landscapes here all the time. And to me, you get to see the bones of the landscape. It's not covered up by beautiful lush vegetation. There is vegetation, but it's strong, gnarly trees that might be only 6 foot high and many hundreds of years old. And I love it. So I thought I'd sing this deserty song that I wrote for Tim many years ago. It's called Out of the Dry Summer, and it's a cowgirl song. If I was a cowgirl though, I'd just be ushering cows to their freedom, being the vegan that I am. I will bring water to you. I will bring water to you out of the dry summer, out of the dry summer. Over strange lands I'll wander, over strange lands I'll wander, knowing that I will find you, knowing that I will find you. Where your red heart is beating, where your red heart is beating, burning as bright as fire, burning as bright as fire. La la la, hey, la la la, hey, all alone I will wander, all alone I will wander, only the sky will see me, only the sky will see me. If I know that you need me, if I know that you need me, well then I will come from far, 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 far away, and then I will come, and nothing will keep me away. I will bring water to you, I will bring water to you, out of the dry summer, out of the dry dry summer. Hey, I'm going to quickly check that the phone is recording properly, because I did that whole concert last month where it wasn't and then had to redo it. Give me 1 second, I'll just peek behind the front of the camera. Looking good. See, there you go, that's some Capricorn practicality. So, yes, I was saying it's quite hot here and we've had big thunderstorms. That's what Santa Fe does in summer. It's very moody. It's the moodiest time of the year here. But I'm well aware that in the Southern Hemisphere it's winter. And so I'm sending you some warm sunshine. And again, we've got that Capricorn Cancer polarity. The solstices are always marking the Capricorn Cancer polarity. The solstice in June, when the sun moved into the sign of Cancer, marked midwinter in the Southern Hemisphere, midsummer in the Northern Hemisphere. And so now, this is the full moon kind of close, after that this time of when the sun's in Cancer, we've got the Capricorn full moon, and then 6 months from now it will be the opposite. The next solstice, the sun will move into Capricorn and the moon will be in Cancer, and then it will be midwinter here in the Northern Hemisphere, and of course midsummer in the Southern. So really powerful, very powerful lines, big strong lines. And it also, at the moment of the solstices, it moves from mutable signs, the Gemini Sagittarius polarity, into cardinal, which is the beginning energy, cardinal earth or cardinal water, the start of things, the bone, the foundation or the womb, the seed planted. It's a really magical time. There's lots that we can harness with this Capricorn full moon. If you've been feeling like something's too big to tackle, or you really want to do this thing but you can't get the energy, now's the time to harness it. Take it bit by bit, build it, one little building block upon another, and you'll get it done. Break it down into small chunks, and that's what Capricorn's really good at, seeing like the sensible, the practical way to do it. But also remember that Capricorn's not always practical. There's that Pan energy. I have, my dearest friend Rachel is Capricorn, and she's hilarious. And my friend William too. I've got his beautiful oil burner on the altar. He's Capricorn as well. That's half our band is Capricorn. Obviously I like this energy. I'm going to sing 2 songs now from Persephone, and they're both in the voice of the goddess Demeter. And I think that these kind of honour this energy as well. Remember, she's an earthy energy. She's the energy of the grain and the grain goddess. But as she goes through her grieving, when she loses her daughter Kori, who becomes Persephone, she really becomes more like that crone aspect of the wintry Capricorn, bare trees, bare bones, and really gets down to find her when she's stripped away through deep grief, that she finds her strength. And so I'm going to sing this song called Eleusis, which on my telling of the myth is the point where she regains hope and determination in finding her daughter. She's wandered 9 days and 9 nights and gets to the town of Eleusis, and the people there are very kind to her. And she's in disguise. She's dressed as an old woman, as a hag, really. No one knows she's the goddess. And so she's there as the crone, and strips right back, and then from that point on begins to build herself back up and continues her search and demands answers, and answers come. So that's the following song. So anyway, Eleusis. I will not cease to hope. I am her mother, and she is my light. I'll leave no path untrod, no stone uncovered till I find my flower bright. I try to seek the truth, to find an answer. Maybe I held on far too tight. Maybe she slipped away and chose a lover, as other girls do every night. I will not pass a door that I can open, no fence too high, no service too lowly. I wander many days and many nights, hide my face behind my eyes. I have found tenderness, I have found kindness, even so it's still the same. The women gather round to soothe my sorrow, try to make me smile, remind me that life is more than pain. Cello solo. I hold a seed of hope that I will find her once again, my precious maid. And she will gather flowers and dance the meadow, as always was and always will be, once again. We're going to record a film clip for that when Rachel, Tim and I are in Corfu in October, later in a couple of months. Oh, I'm so excited. I know this little secret little ruin, very ancient temple ruin with very few people around, and I think we'll record it there. I think it would be fitting. So here I am as Demeter again. This song is called All As It Must Be, and this is when she's discovered what has happened to her daughter, that with Zeus's permission, her brother Hades has abducted Kori and taken her into the underworld to be his queen. What she doesn't know is that after the shock of the initial trauma, Kori has become Persephone, queen of the underworld, and she's found her power and her purpose. But anyway, when Demeter finds out what has happened, she is extremely angry and curses her brothers and refuses to nurture the earth, and everything dries up and it's the first winter. So eventually an agreement is made that Persephone will spend part of her time above ground and part below. 1 month below ground for each of the pomegranate seeds that she's eaten, 6 for the darkness and 6 for the light. And Demeter must come to terms with this, and she agrees to this. And so this song's called All As It Must Be. What she's really agreeing to, and why I chose this song for the Capricorn full moon, she's agreeing to honour the cycles of nature. She's agreeing that nature is change, and that there must be change, there must be cyclic development. There must be times of winter if there are to be times of spring. There must be times when the seed is underground if it's then to push forth green shoots. So it's really her realigning or aligning with the processes of nature, which on my album, I kind of have those processes voiced by the wise goddess Hecate, the ancient goddess Hecate, who will meet again soon. All as it must be.
I'm told she will return. Deep from below she'll journey back to me. And I am forced to learn all that is and all as it must be. And though my heart will yearn, winter will come and steal my joy from me. And I am forced to learn all that is and all as it must be. From everything I've lost, there's everything to gain. Bear witness to the cost, and honor my pain. And so the seasons turn, soon is the spring that calls her back to me. And I have come to learn all that is and all as it must be. And so returns the corn, and so returns the grain. A ritual is born to honor my pain. Okay, a few more. Look at this lovely earthy cup. It isn't really glazed. My friend Mitra gave this to me, and looks Native American. I love when you drink out of it that you can taste the earth. There's that Cancer Capricorn thing again, and this beautiful earthy container of the water. I love exploring how the elements work together, you know, and it's endless. We can see how earth relates to fire, fire relates to air, fire relates to water, etc., etc., etc. And it's this endless dance. It's so fascinating.
I'm going to give this song a try. It's been decades since I've done this. I always didn't do it. It's from my very first album, Zero. It's the very first song, number 1 on Zero album. And it's called Continental Isolation. And I wrote this before I'd ever left Australia. And because remember, I had a kid pretty young, and so while all my friends were off doing their Europe touring and all that, I was home with a baby, and which was fine. I love that. But I was feeling this pull to go and see the lands where my bloodlines came from, and especially at that point, England, and specifically Cornwall, where the rule name comes from. And so I was feeling this pull, like here I am honouring doing this essentially European style of modern witchcraft. Back then, you know, going back 20 years and more, sheesh, and 23 years when this album came out. But I'd never been to those lands, so I felt disconnected, and that's a real thing with Australia, is that you can feel a great sense of isolation. I think it's why a lot of Australians are excellent travellers. And at this stage, you know, I had no idea that I'd be living in America in this gorgeous place called Santa Fe, and living in Northern Hemisphere and Southern Hemisphere too, but a home in the Northern Hemisphere, crazy. So this was early days of my witchcraft. On the record, I know I say the word Samhain, but I pronounce it Samhain because I didn't know any better back then. Now I know it's Samhain. I can say it in that classy way, but anyway. And it's completely about the polarity of Northern and Southern Hemispheres. So again, nice to be talking about in this polar opposite of Capricorn Cancer. And I've never done it because it really has 2 vocal parts that intertwine in the choruses. But what I've decided to do is sing one in one chorus and one in another. And anyway, let's see how I go. And it's got amazing percussion on the record. One of the best percussionists in the industry, Alex Patchouli, played percussion on this, like 20 tracks. So instead you'll get an acoustic guitar and probably some pretty clunky playing, but let's see how we go. Continental Isolation. On a hemisphere that's been turned around, it is hard to find our own sacred ground going. Our blood has been flowing from land never seen. From a northern line to a southern birth, I have memories of a different of weather. It's summer or winter in June. We all draw our power from the same moon. On the eve of sowing, when the twilight called, her mother cried. On the eve of sowing, a door open wide. On the eve of sowing, when the twilight called, her mother cried, and from the sea came an ancient memory. And from the sea came an ancient memory. And from the sea came an ancient memory. It was the mirror of her ancestry. It was the mirror of her ancestry. It was the mirror of her ancestry. It was our ebbing tide cover northern rocks. Is the ocean still at each equinox? Is it the moon that is breathing this tide in our veins? Our sewing shines, we have belting bright, and our longest day is your longest night. Solstice is swapping to stress to this nation. It's continental isolation on the eve of sowing. When the twilight cold, her mother cried on the eve of sowing, her doorbell wide. On the eve of sowing, when the twilight cold, her mother cried, and from the sea came an ancient memory. Voices of long ago, right in the wind, they are calling me out. Voices of long ago, right in the wind, they are calling me out. Voices of long ago, right in the wind, they are calling me out. It was the mirror of my ancestry. It was the mirror of my ancestry. Well, that wasn't too bad after about 20 years or so. Might have to resurrect it, add it back into the set. Tim's been saying for years that he's keen to do that. Okay, here is a wintry song for the goddess who strips away all that's unnecessary, shows us the truth of the matter, challenges us. Her name is Hecate. Hey, let me check if this is recording still. The issue last time was I'd run out of memory on my phone, so I don't want to do that. Let me have a quick look. Good. Gone are the leaves on the Hecate trees, shed to the wind till a skeleton claws the sky. I am alone in a forest of memories, dragging behind me the howl of the winter. Hecate, 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 Gone are the leaves on the Hecate trees, shed to the wind till a skeleton claws the sky. I am alone in a
of memories, dragging behind me the whole of the winter. Hecate, 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 Hecate. Hecate, 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 So, final song for the Capricorn full moon. Is a song I wrote for my favourite Capricorn, Miss Rachel Samuel. And I wrote this years ago. It's called Shine. I think I'm always going to bring this out on the Capricorn full moon. I remember I did it last year. I don't know if you guys were tuning in then, you may well have been. And I was in New York City and I was in my friend Paul's apartment, and the beautiful Chrysler building was behind me. Instead you get my extended vision board. Yeah, anyway, it's interesting looking back, what we were doing this time last year, etc. All right. You were bound, you were lost, you were captured, with your infinite soul counting hours in a web where each thread held the future, and the future holds infinite powers. You're braver than mythical heroes. You choose the child in your dreamland. You've conquered the beast of the shadows. The universe is centered on where you stand. Feel the world at your feet. Freedom calls you from time. That's all because you shine. You're drinking the nectar divine. You've broken the rings that hold Saturn. You're shedding the clothes of your sorrow, and the summer is singing its passion, and the universe calls you to follow. Feel the world at your feet. Freedom calls you from time. Not all because you shine.
All right, time to open up our magical circle. Thank you all very, very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I hope you like that new film clip that we uploaded today too, the Dark Shadow film clip. If you're not on the $5 plus level, and please don't think that I'm pressuring you, because I absolutely appreciate every single one of you who signs on to Patreon, but it'll be available and I'll post it again on Patreon and on Facebook and everywhere in a week's time for everybody else. So we recorded it in Carlsbad Caverns, so it was totally beautiful. So beautiful. I was walking around all dressed up in full makeup and a beautiful dress while everyone else said there's lots of tourists because it's high summer, so we were it looks very lonely in the film clip down there, but we were just having to wait for crowds of tourists to go past, kind of gawking like, what are those people doing? Anyway, what we were doing was making a film clip. La 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 la. Open our circle, hey? Energies of the earth, of the great mother, of bone and root and tree and structure and form and the workings of time. Of life and death and life and death. Thank you for being here in our circle. Thank you to our ancestors. Earth, hail and farewell. Energies of water, of flow, of our hearts filled with love, of blood coursing through our veins, of cleansing tears, water of blessed rain that flooded this room and cleansed it. You're welcome in our circle, blessed be. Gee, I was trancing out. Why don't I start again? Ready, steady, go. Thank you, Earth, for being in our circle. Hail and farewell and blessed be. And thank you, water, for being in our circle. Hail and farewell and blessed be. Thank you, fire, for being in our circle. For the sacred flame, for the bright spark, for the warm hearth, for the golden sun, for the glittering stars, for the fire in our belly, for all our creativity. Fire, hail and farewell. Thank you, energies of air. Thank you, breath. Thank you, laughter. Thank you, play. Thank you, flight. Thank you, freedom. Air, hail and farewell. Thank you, energies of spirit, of above, of below, of within, of without, of spirit of 1,000 names, spirit nameless. Thank you, Pan. Thank you, Kurnanas. Thank you, Gaia. Thank you, all you earth deities of many different pantheons and many different eras. Thank you for being part of our circle. By earth, by air, by fire, by water, by the power of spirit. This circle is open, but still unbroken. Merry meet and merry part.